Okay.
Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome to this another very special episode of Off the Battlefield, featuring myself, Skrull from Newcastle,
and myself, Lorenzo from London.
And this is going to be a very special Smash Brothers for Wii U, for 3DS, however you want to call it, whatever name you're giving it. A very special one because we feel here at OTB that we need to cover this because it is a game, well, the newest game to the Smash franchise, and it's what I think one that is stirring up a hell of a lot of controversy. Well, not controversy per se, but just sort of differences of opinions, conflicts of opinions. And it's very interesting to see the new things it's brought into the franchise, such as custom moves and all that sort of stuff. And we decided that myself and Lorenzo are maybe not so much knowledgeable ourselves, though I have experience.
Not really, no.
Version. So we decided to bring in two people who we definitely know have a fair bit of experience with it. So, Luke, would you like to introduce yourself first, mate? Luke?
Yeah, my name's Luke, and my tag is Synth, S-I-N-T-H. I'm quite a long-time Brawl player, and I've gotten into Smash 4 now. That's me. I used to be a Snake main, but rest in peace, Snake. Now I'm going with Pac-Man, and I have some other characters I'm working on with
What a
as well.
change. Snake to Pac-Man. Good God.
You got to go with that third party. I respect that.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm keeping it third party all the way.
Alright. Ixis, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hey, I'm Ixis Norgus, long-time Brawl player from way back in the day. Been in the scene for a good 5 or 6 years now. Hoping to be a top player again in Smash 4. Well, we'll see how it goes. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, it's no bother,
Pleasure to have you.
Yeah, pleasure to have you. So, guys, should we just dive right into the topics then? So, first thing we've got to talk about first and foremost is because alongside the Wii version, which is, I think, going to be the primary common one, but we'll get onto that. We got the Smash 3, we got the 3DS version, and we've got the Wii U version. Now, speaking from personal experience with the 3DS version, I just hate how it feels on the 3DS. But I'm assuming because we've got GameCube controller adapters now, and we've got actual controllers, that it feels like I'm assuming faster. I think.
Yeah, the game definitely feels a lot more. It feels a lot more precise, with the GameCube controller, or even with an actual more responsive controller than one is actually offered. With the 3DS, with the circle pad and the lack of, other forms of inputs on there.
Yeah, like the C sticker.
Yeah. It was definitely a long time coming, to be honest, getting the Wii U version. Like, a lot of us firmed the 3DS controls for quite some time, and there were a lot of stuff that just weren't really possible or not really precise enough with the circle pad. So I think we're all thankful to finally have Cube controllers
definitely.
And the actual console version now.
And it looks prettier as well, just in general. It just looks so much nicer in my eyes. Like, watching gameplay of it from VGBC or from CT, it's like, this game is really pretty. Really pretty.
It's a really great looking game. Everyone who went back to Brawl before or after seeing the Wii U version always commented on how ugly and dated the HD looks and everything.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed, guys, is that things first of all, I agree, it's a really pretty game. It's one of the best looking Wii U games. I do agree in general, but if you look at some details of the game, for example, something you might not see often, Giga Bowser, some parts of the game do look very, very restricted, very limited. I think that there was a bit of a development rush maybe near the end.
That's why we didn't get Ridley, guys. It was all and why we didn't get Ice Climbers.
We know why we didn't get Ice Climbers, Henry.
Oh, but they're wobbling. Come on. Oh, whatever.
But we got 8-player Smash though.
We'll get onto that in a second.
Ice Climbers were actually one of my emergency backups that I was trying to train in Brawl for when Smash 4 comes out, in case Nick didn't make it in. So you can imagine how stressed I am right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry.
But Pac-Man is amazing. It's fine. I'm happy.
I've seen some Pac-Man gameplay. Pac-Man's pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I've seen PB&J rocking a bit of Pac-Man.
Yeah. So in terms of how the Wii U version feels, is the movement mechanics, do they feel similar, or does it feel different in the terms of because we have that more precise option now with controllers and proper controllers with 2 analog sticks? is there that sort of element of it feeling faster because we've got those options, or?
I suppose so. Not really, like, from my perspective anyway, not really faster, just by having the actual controls. It's more like the precision offered by those controls allows us to, perform our actions, like, in, a more responsible fashion, which make the whole pacing and flow of the game feel a little bit better.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, actually, one thing that... basically...
I found that...
We are having problems already, gentlemen. Lorenzo, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that basically, like, one thing, the first episode of OTB we had GP on, and he was talking about how... There was some pretty good tech in Smash 4. He was thinking, which is very, very difficult to do on something as restrictive as a 3DS. So we're assuming that now a GameCube controller will allow people the ability to really like use the game engine to its fullest, in the sense that there is actually. Because on the surface it doesn't look quite as much as, say, Melee, but what he was arguing was there clearly is quite a lot of in-depth tech to the game in terms of what one can do. And now with the GameCube, are we looking to see like the metagame develop quite a lot, just how the game is played, because people could have access to better, more precise inputs and so on. That's what I was wondering.
I definitely feel that is the case. I mean, a few people have, quote unquote, accidentally discovered, like things that could pass for like new advanced techniques, like something reminiscent of, platform cancelling, I believe was like, discovered just the other day, and people are trying to figure out how that works correctly with the GameCube controller.
Yeah, I saw Mike Hayes put out a video on shield dropping and ledge cancelling your aerial spot dodge. So I thought, those are quite interesting. So
shoot.
Yeah, it does sort of show that, like, that little bit of precision goes a long way in terms of Smash, especially because all Smash games are a lot about precision of just, like, placement of the analog sticks in relation to how you press, like, how fast you can press buttons, your inputs, and all that. I think it's quite interesting to see how that, like, just having another analog stick makes gameplay not like, it doesn't maybe not make it faster, but makes it like seem a lot faster. Like, I remember I was watching an old comparing Nairo vs Nakat in the 3DS version to Nairo vs Nakat in the Wii U version, and the game was a lot shorter on the Wii U version, and that was
faster moves together a lot easier.
Yeah.
So one other thing, actually, I was we can probably go into more depth about this later, certainly when we get onto tournaments. But in terms of how fast the game is going to be, we're still looking at how like the idea for a good tournament format. If you know what I mean?
Right.
Because like if. We'll go into this more later, I guess. But basically, at the moment, it's still 2 stocks, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
2 or 3 stocks. People haven't really like settled on one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, certainly from what I've seen so far, everything has been. As in, obviously for glory mode is, but that doesn't matter too much, really.
Yeah.
But I think. It would be nice to see the games. I mean, that's one thing I was assuming was going to happen, because a lot of people, when the whole concept of like, because when pseudo chain grabs were discovered within the game, like Sheiks, people were getting upset because they were thinking, well,
this isn't going to be enough, like time to adapt.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking that if you can make the game faster, then. Well, it would be nice to make the game faster, and obviously the GameCube, the addition of a better controller to do it with, is already doing that, but just mechanics that are going to speed up gameplay. They're going to make, because stocks have the potential in this game to last a very, very long time.
Oh yeah.
don't they?
Can I add something in here?
Yeah, of course.
Basically, when the game first came out, there was a lot of issues with the time of it. We all noticed that there was a lot of combo potential there, but I think taking the stocks, actually killing other characters, was quite difficult or tiresome to watch or to do. One thing that excites me quite a lot here, although things like the smash attacks are quite weak compared to previous Smash titles, what I'm very excited about is that we did have a technology called vectoring, which had replaced DI, but now there's been a ton of events because there's a new patch to Smash for 3DS and for Wii U, and now they've brought back DI, as well as, well, basically the end result is that people will potentially die faster because they can't minimize the vertical distance that they travel like they could before the patch. So one thing I can tell you from that is that I think the game might end up being a faster, more fluid game because people are going to die faster.
It definitely appeared at first, in patch 1.0.3 and backwards, that the game was feeling a lot more longer, as if it dragged, as if people live forever. And the idea of vectoring definitely, I agree, like played a huge part in that. Like doing some testing, like myself with other people, we'd find that like with optimal vectoring, you'd live like an additional, 30, maybe 40% on some moves that would otherwise kill you with no kind of like influence to the actual launch values,
which is astounding because characters are already like difficult to kill were made even more difficult to kill, and that was a massive deal, like in my eyes anyway. So you had characters living to like 200%. It was getting to like kind of ridiculous places.
But then
from my perspective, it's like, more than anything else, what makes it appear as though people like seem to live forever is like the new kind of ledge mechanics where there's no kind of like ledge hogging. So getting those kind of gimps like isn't as easy as it was before. But when you compare like the kind of like damage output, or I should probably use knockback specifically, compared to like Brawl or some of the other Smash games, it's not that much different. It's not like it's not like on average most characters have had like knockback reductions on their moves.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. One thing I was going to add is that on the flip side of this, there is of course the rage mechanic. That's a big thing. I think everyone thinks this is a big thing.
Oh yeah. I didn't even
because it's almost an anti-comeback factor, Okay, it is a comeback factor, but also it has the potential to just make, if people are surviving so long,
it's like a glass cannon mechanic, because it's like, if they're surviving and you're like, you've got this ability to deal even more knockback, but you're at a higher percent, there's a chance that one nicely placed F smash is going to send you flying.
That's not really a glass cannon mechanic. It's just the aura mechanic, like Lucario's aura mechanic.
Yeah,
it's just everyone has it, and it means that if you can tank a stock for a long time, then you can potentially take two easily. Because we've seen these ridiculous gifs of like Ike being on rage mode, being able to sort of up B and like insta kills 0 to death Zelda with 1 up B.
Lucario has now his aura ability that you just mentioned stacked together with rage, from what I understand. That terrifies me.
That's like Wesker level 4 X Factor. That's stupid, man. I don't know why they would do that. That's
rage
a bit
is
much.
An interesting addition, and I think that might have just been a little bit of that Namco Bandai influence, like like a little tiny bit of their sort of like. Because Tekken has a rage mode.
Tekken rage mode, yeah. I guess so, yeah.
Like, that's what I was thinking it is, anyway.
Though I'd say it's a much more reasonable mechanic in Tekken because you have rounds. If you've got like stocks, then the problem I've said before, or not the problem, but just like the potential that you have. Like, say you have Lucario and he's got all this stacked like power behind him, and you get him to a high percent, and you can't kill him, then he can damage you so easily, and it shouldn't be the case that because he's. It's a little bit controversial that because he's really damaged, both of you are in a really dangerous position because of it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, another thing actually I wanted to talk about briefly was the idea of stage spiking seems to be it seems to be very important now, stage spiking, because one thing I wanted to, because I haven't played this game at all really, but what I've seen, like, can one tech off the stage? Because
seems
to you definitely can.
Okay,
it's just a lot of people don't have the like. I haven't seen a lot of people reacting to getting stage spiked. They just sort of like get hit, and then it's just sort of like, oh, I'm dead now, I guess. It's like, no, you can tech the stage. Please tech the stage.
I think people just need to get used. I think people just need to get more used to the idea of like anticipating a move that will stage spike them in tech. I know like I've like adapted to it like pretty well myself, and so have a few other people.
Exist, can you what's it called, like jump cancel? I think that's what you would call it. Can you jump to cancel the meteor effect anymore? Because I don't feel like that is something I can do anymore when I do play this game. When you get spiked, can you hit jump to kind of cancel it out before you're dead?
I think you can if I think you can if like the actual move that's meteoring you is weak enough, or if there's not too much hits done. Obviously, if there's too much, then you won't be able to. But I mean, depending on like where you get meteored by those various kinds of moves, you may be able to, like, say on a Omega Final Destination stage with walls, you may be able to DI into the walls and tech the walls, and then just jump off those.
Yeah, what characters have jumps as well, actually, from what I can notice?
Sorry, what characters have what?
More characters in general seem to have the ability to jump off the wall than in the previous titles.
Yeah, quite a few characters like have wall jumps, actually. Like, some characters I didn't expect to have them seem to have them.
Yeah, it's I think it's just added mobility and added like just recovery in general. I don't think recovery actually needed any like buffs from Brawl, but they seem to give it some, which is just interesting to say the least.
Yeah,
interesting design choice, really.
That said, I mean, still the ability to the spikes are really important as well. I mean, it's obviously this is no surprise. Like in every Smash game, being if you knock your opponent downwards, they're in a worse position. You can kill them quickly. Because I was watching Mutaking and Zero playing some friendlies, and Mutaking's playing Diddy Kong and Zero's playing Sheik, and the Sheik is like, you get the Diddy Kong off the stage, and then you back air him into the stage, and he just dies because he just falls down and he can't recover. I mean, okay, I'm very glad you told me that is techable, because I was just sort of thinking if that's a bit much in an engine where you can't do anything about that. But
yeah, it's definitely techable. Like if you watch like even more like of Nairo, specifically his Robin, it's very important for that character because of how like simple and telegraphed his recovery can be. It's like you'll see Nairo tech stages a lot. Like even back when only the 3DS version released, he was always like teching walls.
Yeah. I remember watching his Robin in like an online tournament. It was hype, but that's a really cool character. But the recovery always looked a bit like it always looked a bit sort of stressful. Like, are you going to get back with that thing? Because it's not the best. So I would I mean, the other thing, of course, is if you look at the other ways in which this game can be made, or at least faster, if not faster than the one thing that sets it apart from, say, Brawl, of course, is the idea of having like a proper combo system, or if not a proper combo system, because Smash has never had, in inverted commas, a proper combo system, just an ability to combo moves together. And I mean, how viable would you so far? Like, are there any? Because we've seen in the 3DS version that Mario had these sort of, he had auto combos almost like it was in PM.
Those patches.
Sorry? Yeah.
Those patches, that's astonishing.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, how many sort of, because you see the occasional. I've seen quite a few like 2-hit combos and so on. But again, that's not too far really from. I mean, that's sort of stuff. Yeah, you can do in Brawl, I think, isn't it? More or less, like you can string together a move or two, but being able to do like extended punishes. I mean, how viable do you think we're going to be as this game develops? How viable do we think this is going to like be? In that, how far can you extend your punishes?
I believe this will definitely like still be a thing for like the entire duration of the game's lifespan. How much room there is for these combos to be like expanded on and lengthened is anyone's guess, really. Like I'm sure people will figure out some more combos for all of their characters as time goes on.
Like, in the first few weeks of seeing the 3DS version, well, like I think it was less than a month, we saw a Peach 100% zero to death combo, which I think is patched out.
The turnip stuff, that was brilliant. I thought that was fantastic.
I was like totally going to play Peach until I realised, they're just going to patch it out. But I think a big thing for combos and just punishes in general will be like how Nintendo received them, and how like I think it's going to be like more along the lines of, if they think this is broken, we need to remove this. And that's one thing that I'm actually genuinely worried about. That the fact we're getting like updates for it, like patches, it's just gonna like. I don't feel like they're leaving it enough time to develop as a game in general. Like I had that worry with PM as well. To be fair, when they were like putting out all these updates for the 3.0 version. And
I definitely like understand like those worries as well. I think in the case of like Nintendo and like updating the game with patches, I can understand like a lot of the changes they made in version 1.0.4, but a lot of like a combo's known combo, a lot of the characters' known combo game up to that point have been like left largely intact. So I don't think there's any immediate danger of them like patching out like really basic bread and butter stuff that a lot of characters have. Like I don't see them patching out like all of Mario's like up throw, down throw to like up tilt, up air, etc. strings. I don't see them patching out like Pikachu's like various triple up airs, like Sheik's. Like Sheik can like
because they feel like they're meant to be there. They don't feel like they were just sort of discovered. And I think that's my worry. Like people are going to discover stuff and they go like, oh, that's not supposed to be there, and they're going to like take those out. And that's the thing I'm actually terrified for.
Well, I mean, look, if you take this from if you have the analogy of, say, look, Henry, for your benefit, let's talk about wobbling for a minute.
Right.
If Nintendo had this dedicated been like dedicatedly patching Melee, and we discovered wobbling, like as Wobbles did, do you think they'd have patched it out? I think they'd have patched it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course. So, I don't think that's all a bad thing, really, because it's a lot of stuff that there's a difference between having a solid combo game that requires execution, requires reactions, like say you have in Melee, like Fox combos, Marth combos, Falcon combos. There is, some of them have degrees of
difficulty.
Well, it's like some combos are nothing is entirely guaranteed, but
Nintendo definitely wants some things to be in there. Like when I was reading through one of the Brawl, it's like the strategy guide for Brawl. I got one for free somehow a year or two ago. It's pretty novel because it talks about how Ganondorf is powerful and things like this. But one thing I noticed inside of this official strategy guide that's, in some way officially approved of by Nintendo is that it mentioned that the ice climbers can do...
can desync, I think.
So I found that very surprising. It almost seemed like in some ways, they intentionally big up that you can do combos or that you can string some moves together. But they definitely want to find a balance, Nintendo. We know that from the patches they've done so far.
Yeah, like if the things such as this peach, I mean, amazing as it is, the idea of this turnip combo thing, which is just it wasn't a turnip infinite, but it was something stupid like that. And you can do and anything else we've seen. I mean, say if they'd had like if we'd found like they explicitly said no chain grabs, and I don't think that's a bad thing because I mean it shouldn't be a way for it. I don't think anyone wants to see Infinites the same way we get like Marvel Infinites.
I mean, like but I don't mind Infinites. I think Infinites add like a sort of level of meta to the game, but that's my own sort of philosophy.
It does, but I'd say that's only true if enough characters have access to them, and if there are only a couple, then it's
true.
Because if you take the analogy of Marvel, then a lot of characters have access to Infinites nowadays.
True.
And if you look at this game, there's a limit to what Nintendo is prepared to allow, definitely, and we don't want to see broken stuff, and I'm glad they agree with that. But in terms of solid combo games like zero to death combos, ridiculous stuff, it'd be very nice to see those in the game. I'd like to see those in the game as primarily a melee player. I'd like to see those in the game.
Yeah, similarly.
I agree. Well, I can say from my experience, because I think it's all character specific, what combos are potentially out there and available to do in Smash 4. What I can say from using Pac-Man is that easily you can do between 3 to 5 hits in a row. Like you can string them together very comfortably, quite close together. Obviously, true combos are very hard to really kind of pin down, but I see the game going a good direction. I see it being fast-paced. And I believe combos are a very big thing for this title.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a pretty good balance between like the actual true combos and what more sort of looked like combos in Brawl, but were really just quite powerful frame traps. Like I think those kinds of characters who appear to have a, really good quote-unquote combo game back in Brawl, like, characters like Pikachu, Sheik, etc. They seem to have like a more solid, actual, true combo game this time.
Yeah, in a combo game, in more of a sense, you'd have like a melee or PM combo game where you can chain things together, and you can chain things together, and it's not just... they're actual combos. That's the point. There's a difference there, and that'll change. I mean, they're Smash combos, of course, and this game does have some form of you can DI to an extent, can't you? I mean, you can.
Oh yeah, DI is definitely like still in. It's very reminiscent of Brawl, but not quite as effective.
Well, just so long as you have a way of getting out of combos, that's the thing. I think combo DI is going to be is probably more important at the moment than survival DI, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Good point.
I believe DI will still be quite important with getting out of combos.
Yeah, because
Vector's also still in there in some way in terms of horizontally, from what I've heard. So you can definitely influence escaping combos a lot left and right. It's just that up or down, you can't really hold up or down too much to escape from a combo.
Yeah.
So much more. That's essentially what they've done.
Okay, well, I think that's quite sensible. So long as you have a way of somewhat getting away from whatever they're trying to do to you.
Like, for example, a lot of people are complaining, or have been complaining for, the past week or so about Diddy Kong and how easy it is for him to get his down throw up air strings on you. But if you, DI the down throws, well at specific percents, you can actually like avoid the combos he would otherwise have, and the Diddy would have to like pretty much read the DI and change up his follow-ups.
Yeah. That's one thing I just to go on quickly, is how viable is tech chasing in this game?
I think tech chasing is pretty viable, but your reads have to be really on point, because I don't know, it's just weird. It's very different to how melee is. It's very different to how PM is.
Yeah, tech chasing still seems to be a thing. Obviously, you know, you can't immediately re-grab someone after a tech because of the actual, you know, grab cooldown time that's been introduced in this game. But as long as you have, like, significant enough frame advantage, you can, like, chase down a character's tech and, like, hit them with, like, you know, maybe a jab or a dash attack. And, like, if you can get, like, a couple more hits, then you could, you know, potentially go into another kind of reset option. Like, I play Sonic now, and he has a lot of tech chase opportunities with his down throw, which is quite similar to Wolf's was in Brawl, and I use that quite a lot, like try and reading people's tech rolls, and then like I can go for like a jab or something if they're close enough to me, or chase them down with a dash attack, etc.
And there is still the element as well of like almost like jab resetting, so you can still get your sort of like jab reset into grab, and like I know this is present with Wario especially, because Wario has a down tilt into grab setup, which is actually really, really effective on him. So there is still that element with I think it's just character specific, really, to be honest with you. Like some characters,
a lot of characters have a lot of side Bs as well. I've noticed in this game: Pac-Man, Captain Falcon, Pit. Some of them are old moves, some of them are new. But side Bs, I generally have found are very effective for a quick tech chase when someone's low on the ground, falling left or right or standing up.
Yeah, Sheiks especially, just bouncing fish when they're on the ground is just very effective, and that'll probably get a kill as well.
That kill move.
Yeah. So another thing that we need to talk about while we're talking about Smash 4 is custom moves, just so we can move this along a bit, because we talked quite at length about Game Engine. But custom moves and their sort of viability. Personally, I don't think custom moves are very viable in tournament. And the reason for this is just because of time constraints. And I know people have said, like, oh yeah, but it doesn't take long to get them all. And yeah, true, but I'm like, yeah, if you're running a tournament, you want it to run on time. You don't have time for people to set up their own sort of things. And if you had a sort of registration form for like custom moves for your character, surely that would just make it a bit more of a strain for a TO. And I don't know.
I think me or Ixis both know the answer to this already, but Ixis, do you know what the answer is here?
Well, I know that. Well, I would say like my answer is that custom moves really can't work reasonably with the actual tournament setting, because the unlock criteria I've seen is it's completely unreliable, and we can't expect everyone with a setup to have every single custom move for every single character unlocked.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like people have suggested like workarounds, like you can transfer custom moves from the 3DS game, but then the different issues become applicable. Like, okay, well, who's gonna like come in with their 3DSs with those custom moves? How long is it gonna take to actually transfer all of the custom moves that this particular player wants to use onto this particular setup? And what if they move to another particular setup for a different match? It's all gonna get like really messy and take a lot of time.
Yeah, I also think the other thing is that any potential idea of people having to like list their custom moves beforehand adds an element of character lock, and that shouldn't be something you have in tournaments. If you know what I mean.
Well, let me my opinion on this. Basically, it takes some time to copy custom moves over, but it takes time to set up like a tag as well with custom control scheme, right? So the way I see it,
I don't think it's the length of like going through to a different. I don't know. I think it's difficult to categorize the two together. If anything,
I don't think that's the best comparison.
Well, you can have the custom moves set up ahead of time, like on the 3DS, for example, right? So, to me personally, I feel that the copying across mechanic, just sending the file, whatever it is, from the 3DS to the Wii U, is it's fairly fast. It's not a great speed, but it can be done, right? So if you have it already pre-configured and you send that file over, and then you have, let's say, several tournaments ran by the same TO in your region, those custom moves are already going to be sitting on that Wii ready for you, on that Wii U. So you're only going to need to copy them across once. For that reason, I feel like it's completely viable. I also still feel that entering in something like a custom control scheme and a tag, to me, it's like a similar amount of time.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think one of the main problems is it's like if it's in your region, then that's fine, I think. But it's also the issue of balance. Like if you have like 3 really, really great customs on one character, and how do you sort of limit it? That's where I think it needs to be like sort of addressed. Like where do you sort of draw the line with these customs? I don't know.
Yeah, some people also say like, custom moves add more depth to the metagame. They can potentially make weaker characters a lot stronger, which is definitely possible, but then you can also say that they can make strong characters even stronger.
Exactly. Like it's a sort of like by proxy. If this character gets strong, then there's still a potential for other characters to be just ridiculous. And if we have those sort of situations, then it's just going to get to a ridiculous standpoint at that point. If we have like Diddy with like 7 different like options for killing, and he doesn't need any more. But
yeah, there's also the issue of like how do you go about like legalizing customs, in the sense that when does somebody get to actually use customs? Like, should it be available for them to use at the beginning of a tournament set, or should it be only a counter pick option? And if so, wouldn't the counter picker using custom moves need to tell the opponent what custom moves they're going to use, because otherwise the competitor is not going to know what custom moves that that their opponent is like going to use, and
exactly.
They're going to remain ignorant until like the match actually starts, and then they're not really going to know how to like counterpick their custom moves, etc.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a steeper learning curve for sure.
Yeah.
I still feel like it can be done, though. It might be a case of banning certain custom moves, but that sounds very kind of over the top, like too complicated in a sense. So to me, personally, I would like to see it pan out. I would just simply like to see how do they impact our tournaments as and when these tournaments are taking place. And then, only then from that research, I feel that we can dismiss certain things or permanently adopt certain things.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, really. I think most of the idea of tournament, most of the idea of tournament standards is going to have to be like sort of sorted out as time goes along, because like it's going to take a bit of a while to get used to it, I think. But we'll see.
It definitely adds more depth, though. Like for example, I like the idea that I'm not quite. It's kind of masochistic, but it's kind of cool also that you might not quite know what your opponent's going to be doing. As long as you know what the 3 possibilities of each B move is, you're not going to be terrified, because there's only so many ways a character is going to up B back to the stage. If you know all 3 of them, it's not going to be terrifying. It's not going to be too challenging, but it would still be interesting to see what kind of pre-game mind games could take place.
It'll make the concept of matchup knowledge. It'll make it a much vaster. Basically, learning matchups will have so many more dimensions to it. It'll be really, really hard.
Yeah,
It's
good and bad, because then it's just like, yay, we get to learn this game more. And it's like, oh, we have to learn this game more. Like it's that double-sided sort of aspect.
In the long run, once everyone's played for like months and months and hopefully unlocked everything, right? Then it would be nice to see that, because it'll just instantly give more depth to the game.
Yeah, true.
If you have more options for your characters, if you have more potential matchups that can be played, then learning the meta, learning like what who beats what and what, identifying a tier list, because characters with different custom moves will have different places on a tier list easily. So basically, it'll add more depth to the game, and that's only a good thing in the long run.
It would. the use of customs like would be encouraged more if the actual in-game usability of custom moves was a bit more like simple. But well, as it stands right now, the unlock criteria is very unreasonable, and the fact that you can't use customs online for the moment, it kind of discourages the idea that customs should really be taken so seriously.
Yeah, sure.
Customs are very hard to unlock. I've even thought of potentially writing a guide for it, not because I'm great at doing it, but just because I can at least share the small parts of information that might make someone's life a little bit easier that I have found so far. So it's definitely tough to get the moves.
Yeah, with custom moves, we'll have to see how things develop. Yeah, only time will tell, really. So, moving along in terms of... Right, let's move along to characters, because in terms of like tier lists, Japan has been really involved in like writing tier lists, and we've seen we all know how that panned out. They were like, okay, this kind of makes sense, and then everything else is like, right, and it's just sort of like, and this is still going to be prominent with the Wii U version, but I think we can all tell who the strongest characters are right now. In my eyes, I think top 3 is currently Diddy, Sheik, and Sonic. In my eyes, those are the top 3 right now. But I know other people have other opinions. But from what I've seen, where I've seen constant Diddy mirrors and Diddy dittos, it's like, oh god.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, most people would like quite easily settle on like a simple top 8, consisting of like characters like Diddy, Sheik, Zero Suit Samus, Fox, Sonic, Lucario, Rosalina, etc.
Yep, I can agree with all of those. Yeah, and
definitely Rosalina's in there.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of anger. Well, not anger, but I've heard some salt around Rosalina.
Rosalina is the bae. I don't know why everybody's so mad at her. God, she's just doing her thing, man. Be mad at Luma. Don't be mad at Don't hate the player. Hate the game. But I think there's a clear distinction right now who is where on the tier list, who's good, who's bad, that sort of thing. I think everybody's pretty much aware of that. As patches come out and as the metagame develops, characters will obviously go up and down in expectation. Like in Brawl, as an example, Zelda was considered mid-tier for a year, and everybody was like, wait, no, she's terrible.
Yeah.
It was like, oh wait, Super Sweet Spot exists. It's like, no, she's bad. She's just a bad character.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely room for a lot of shuffling again. Like, a very good example is like when the game first came out, wasn't everybody like, including top players, quote unquote, like Zero and Vex Kasrani, saying that like Bowser was the best character in the game.
I was going to say, it's why you know Bowser.
I'll tell you why I know Bowser, because he's bad again.
Yeah, but that didn't stop you in Brawl, did it?
That didn't stop me in Brawl when my priorities were a little bit different. Now I want to win.
Yo,
fair enough.
Baying for the blood, though.
We're seeing a trend here because apparently Killer Jaws, the Samus main from Brawl, is also going for those.
He's going all in on Sheik now. And he's very, very strong right now as well.
Also, Candy from Wales, Melee Bowser, is playing... he's playing Wii Fit Trainer. So he hasn't gone up. He's just changed to a different bad character. He hasn't, gone to a decent character. He's just been like, right, don't want to try Bowser in this game. Let me try Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah,
she's fun. It's like, that doesn't... No!
That's a different mentality. That's
true.
That's low-tier hero mentality, really.
Yeah, true.
The mentality.
The point is, like, with some, with a little bit of development, people are more realizing, hang on a minute, Bowser's actually, not too great. And it's kind of reflecting in tournament results and even this, Japanese tier list, this revised one that's just popped up, where Bowser's fallen from, A tier all the way, down to low C tier, I think.
Low C.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. I want to get it up, but I don't want to search for my Twitter feed for it. So we're going to assume it's low.
I'm going to have a look. So at the top, we've got Sheik. Okay, wait a minute.
Diddy okay, hang on.
Diddy is... I've got it up now. Yeah, Diddy is S tier, in his own tier, which I personally don't agree with, but, that's what some people feel right now.
I think it's just because of how the meta is sort of developed to the point where it's everybody is aware that Diddy is very, very good. And so it's like, because he's very, very good, we're going to put him on this pedestal where everybody is so afraid of him that nobody really wants to sort of contest that idea that he is the best in the game currently. I would maybe contest that he's the best in the game, but then again, when you look at tournament results and you see all these people doing so many good things with Diddy, it's like, okay, maybe he's pretty good. Maybe he's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like Diddy's performance has gone, like you know, historically for Smash 4, I think there's a lot of development that's, you know, needed on like opposing player sides, you know, playing against Diddy Kong. A lot of people just seem to be getting grabbed and not really doing much about it. They really shouldn't be as well, since like grab armor isn't a thing in this game anymore. It's like with if you know, hit someone grabbing you within a certain number of frames, then you're not actually going to get grabbed, and you're both just going to break out and take damage.
Yeah, very true. So for right now, Diddy is considered best in the game. Like, so that's actually interesting to me. So I know. So the three of us have pretty much solidified characters who are going to play. Ixis is going to be playing Sonic. Synth going to be playing Pac-Man. I'm going to be going Rosalina, most likely. Lorenzo, do you have any idea who you're going to play? Because you're entering at Beast, right?
I am entering at Beast because I was like, well, I'm going to Beast. I will enter everything.
I wouldn't recommend Marth, mostly because Marth is...
I'm not going to play Marth.
Yeah, Marth is just not as strong as he used to be. Definitely not.
I'd like to play Shulk, but it would take some actual learning, because I've played in one 3DS tournament, which was a local, which was not even a local, it was a UCL for fun tournament. And I played Shulk, and it was all right. I mean, I kept getting the wrong stances, but I managed to win a match with a counter, which was hype. And then I don't know. I don't know what happened. Bad things happened to me. I got beaten up by a fox, who was another guy who never played this game, but was like, well, I'll use a character, character. Oh, but anyway, the point is that I'd like to play Shulk. I mean, Shulk, you know, he looked like I always thought I seem to gel with the sword characters, so I'll just go for that.
Yeah,
he's very advanced Shulk, but if you just keep learning him, you will get there.
Yeah, so eventually I'll hopefully actually try to grind some time with this game, although my priorities are, at the moment, I just want to get good at like melee, and then but we'll see if somehow I manage to get, because I don't have the hardware, but if somehow I manage to get my hands on this game properly, then I want to learn Shulk. Yeah, definitely, Shulk looks like fun.
Yeah, so we'll move on next to another aspect of Smash 4, which we all feel is quite important. Netplay on 3DS for me was garbage. Like, I don't know why. I don't know whether it was my internet, but I have pretty good internet. I have I think it was something along the lines of, I think I've got like 40 down and like 5 up, which is really kind of good. But I don't know. It just felt really slow and sluggish for me, and it never really I never had a game where I was like, okay, this is near lagless. All my games I was like delayed by about like 8 or 9 frames, I'd say. I don't know.
Well, from my perspective, Netplay has been like very, very inconsistent. There have been a few games that have been, I won't say lagless, because I could definitely feel like a little bit of input delay compared to playing offline, but definitely playable. Definitely something, you know, you could possibly improve from, like, you know, playing on a really good connection with like pretty good players, but there's definitely like a really big issue with consistency. Like, more often than not, well, from my own experience, the games were quite bad as well. Like, especially like on the Wii U game as opposed to the 3DS game, which is very strange actually.
Really?
Oh. But I think offline is definitely still gonna, be the thing for anyone who wants to, take the game really seriously, improve. I think Smash Fests are still gonna be like very important in order to improve, as opposed to just, staying at home playing online.
Yeah, I don't think it gives the same experience.
Hold that you get stuck on, like when it comes down to those nuanced amounts of shield that you hold down and spot dodging, for example, at the right time. These little areas, like you can just do just the wrong thing with the C stick or the analog stick because you can't see the startup that your muscle memory is used to reacting to.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tool that just warms you up. It gets you used to the base mechanics. It's really good because the games just came out. I think NetPlay is fantastic because we can learn so much, even though there might not be that many tournaments compared to when we get, say, like 1 year into the game's lifespan. So it's a great starter dish. It's going to be great to go to now and then when you need some quick fun. It serves its purpose. It's not something that you should spend your whole Smash career on.
No, definitely not. Don't be a NetPlay warrior because then it doesn't translate.
Don't be a warrior, exactly.
Yeah.
Like a lot of... I think playing NetPlay too much will definitely give people the wrong impression as to how the metagame will develop.
And as to how the game should be played.
As to how the game should be played as well, for sure. I played
Final Destination.
I played a lot of NetPlay in the beginning on the 3DS, and I found that, since a lot of people appear to roll a lot, scrubs and all that, I would spend a lot more time than I usually would reading rolls and trying to hard punish rolls. And then when it came to playing someone offline, who doesn't do that, I still was trying to read a lot of these bad rolls that they just weren't really doing.
Yeah, I get you.
That's one thing actually
that you can't capitalize on in NetPlay. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people complained about roles in the beginning, seemingly too powerful. But I think the actual delay on NetPlay definitely played a factor to that.
Yeah, and you can't read power shields either in NetPlay. I mean, it's technically possible.
Not efficiently. No,
it's not possible.
Yeah, not efficiently, not consistently.
I'd like to say the whole idea of reading roles. I just want to put a quick shout out to the magnificently Hollywood Nintendo video featuring Fuzzy.
Yes,
it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Oh my god! The first face he makes, he looks up and he looks like he's trying not to die laughing. It's just oh my god! Shouts to Fuzzy. Good.
Shout out to Fuzziness.
You can see the look in his eyes that says, "I have nothing but contempt for you, you filthy cash."
Good job, Fuzzy.
But anyway,
esports.
The whole idea. I mean, to be honest, even ridiculous as that video was, actually, the idea of practicing with friends on actually reading on learning to punish roles seems to be a very important thing. And I mean, we're going to have in NetPlay the same problems that we have with NetPlay in any game, because there's lag and you can't punish stupid things. And then people go I'm going to do my stupid thing and no one can punish me, and then they'll go offline and get bodied.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen in every game, and online warriors will have to hold that, and they'll have to learn that you can't rely on online jank. You've got to rely on fundamentals, and you can get those from playing NetPlay, but it'll be the same as any game. So long as the NetPlay is good enough to actually play on, then it seems to that's my view on NetPlay on any game, really. But yeah,
as long as the connection is good enough, I think you can improve and learn through NetPlay. Because I've played some really good games. I mean, actually, tell a lie. I just ordered a LAN adapter, which came in just today.
Yeah, and
so hopefully I can get a more consistent connection to play with people online.
Oh yeah, no, it's
on speed of NetPlay actually. One, a LAN adapter is really great, and also someone told me it was Legacy. You guys, I'm pretty sure you know him.
Yeah.
One of the admins of Smash UK. He was saying to me that if you turn off spectator mode, so people can't watch your match, that can improve your connection. as well as send data to Nintendo if that's an option. There's two options basically for online play. If you turn off the sharing options, whatever those are called, that apparently can just make things a little bit sweeter.
Alright, okay. So netplay on a whole, don't use it to practice. Go and see if you want to play it for like fun, or you just want to beat up some scrubs, do that, but don't practice for a tournament on it.
I would say if you don't have like too much choice, then definitely net play and try and get the best connection possible. But if, however, you have anyone even like near local, hit them up, like arrange something, try and like sort out Smash Fest, and
even if they're not local, go and meet them. So,
even non-local, definitely travel. It's a good experience. Smash Fests are really fun. And it's the best way to learn and the best way to improve, bar none.
Yeah. So, moving on then, 8-player mode.
I'd just like to, very, very quickly, before we go into 8-player mode, I'd just like to say that this applies to anyone who's watching, even if you don't play Smash, don't play anything, this applies to every single game. Every single competitive game, fighting game, anything. Just a local scene is invaluable.
Mm-hmm.
Invaluable.
Agreed completely.
So much better than having to like just I remember, but before the Northeast scene existed, I was just so bored. Like nothing happened up here, and then we got a scene, and it builds connections and a network of new people that you get to meet.
Yeah, it does.
So
it's very good. It's very
build a scene, you noobs. Moving on to swiftly.
8-player mode.
8-player mode. I don't think it's viable. To be honest with you,
if I can chime in first on 8-player modes, I would like. I'm a big vouch for 4v4 teams. I think it's absolutely amazing. I think it's a completely new and different dynamic than what 2v2s has to offer. And I would really, really like to see 4v4 teams become like a thing and like a standard at really big tournaments.
Damn. Well, I don't know. I think it's fun, but I don't know.
I know. It appears that way. It appears very, very convoluted, very messy at first. I wasn't really sure how it would turn out either, but I was able to try out some 4v4 teams with like a bunch of people. When Bowie Alexander hosted about a week or so back.
Shout out to Bowie.
We all seemed to like pick up very quickly, like, hang on, this is actually like very, very strategic. It's actually a really incredible experience. Like,
you have your stock tank, you've got your person who's going to be playing Rushdown.
There are so many different strategies you can come up with, and like it's oh my god, it is so much fun. I can't stress that enough.
That's fair enough then. I don't know. I think I'd like to see how it developed as a option, but I don't know. Like again, we'll go on to tournament in a bit, but it'll be like time constraints and stuff. And like if they're like running like pools alongside, I think like taking someone out of their game so you can go and play 4v4 is going to be like, I don't know. It's just the same that we get for like every. I think it's the same for every mode, really.
I'd offer a new form of crew battle, basically, rather than use it for a new form of crew battle.
Honestly, I've never been one to
3 versus 3 seems more viable to me, but I could be convinced that 4v versus 4 could be possible over a period of time. So I'm kind of in between you guys on this one. I don't really feel like 2 versus 2 is the maximum. I don't feel like 4 versus 4 is that easy to accept right away, but 3 versus 3 and maybe 4 versus 4, it's there is something there. I agree that there's something.
Yeah, I'm also very open to 3 versus 3 as well. I think in the case of 4v4s, it's, as far as Smash 4 is concerned at least, it could possibly be like the standard as far as crew battles are concerned, as opposed to like the whole, stocks format with people SDing at the start of the round if they've, lost a couple of stocks like in the game before. I think it's a lot more natural to do like a 4v4 as opposed to the stocks format.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
I would like to see both show up still, though. I do like both formats, I'll just say that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Alright, so that is the game tied up as a whole. So we actually had a basic overview of the game. It is a lot deeper than we've described it, but we're on a time constraint here. So we did have a tournament here in the UK. It was our first Smash 4 Wii U tournament. And
That smashed though.
That smashed. Where was this at? Was it in London?
It was a Heart of Gaming.
Yeah, it was at
It was at Hog. It was at Hog. Okay.
Yeah, at North Acton.
Yeah, and the top.
Shouts to Heart of Gaming.
Yeah, shouts to Heart of Gaming, amazing venue. But the top three, and if you know the UK Brawl scene at all, I don't think this is a very surprising result, to be honest with you. CRZ in third. I'm going to assume he was playing Fox, was he?
Yes,
Fox.
yes.
Okay, no surprise there. Second was Jay Miller.
Is he playing Luigi?
I believe he went Luigi for most of his games. He went Lucario one game in grand finals, or one set of grand finals.
Luigi and Lucario. And in first, ladies and gentlemen, your very own Ixis.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's, dude, for getting first. Like, re-establishing yourself as, I am the best, you are all beneath me.
Yeah, thanks. I was pretty pleased with my performance overall.
Hey,
I didn't enter the losers bracket, which I was quite happy about.
Hey, winners side. Yes, I like it. And in doubles, we had top three. We had MM Calamari in third, which I'm guessing was MM Olgera and
Severe Calamari.
Severe Calamari. Okay, I'm guessing Olgera was playing Sheik and Calamari was playing.
He plays Sheik, doesn't he?
Calamari played Sheik, and his teammate was a Diddy Kong, I believe.
All right,
yeah,
fair enough.
Hakeem's playing. Okay, that doesn't surprise me.
Oh wow, top tier. Okay, cool.
He likes good characters.
Okay. And then second, we had Ixis and Kong. I'm assuming Kong was going Diddy.
No, Kong's Greninja in this game.
What?
He was playing Greninja.
Wow. Why?
Because there's no bananas in it.
Oh my god, whatever. But there's still whatever. And in first, Heel Miller.
Yep, Jay Miller and Anarchy.
Yeah.
The Luigi and Robin.
To Facebook tag Adam Stockley.
I'm sorry?
No idea.
Oh,
it's like a Smash UK joke where you tag Adam Stockley over and over and over.
Okay.
I see.
But anyway, what happened, aka Luigi Mitsu? I think he said to me that he
wasn't at the tournament.
Late? He was too late to the very first UK tournament, is that correct? Anyone?
I'm not sure if he was late. I didn't see him in the venue at all, to be honest.
Wasn't there? Okay.
Definitely he just wasn't there. Neither was Lars either, or Wildfire.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Lars having a buff.
But,
Okay.
There were still some very strong players there, some very heavy hitters. Who was Anarchy playing? Sorry?
In doubles, he went all Robin, and in singles, he went Robin and Marth.
Okay. All right.
So where did Anarchy place?
In singles, I believe it was either 7th or 5th.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, he lost to Demon and Severe Calamari.
Oh,
the Demon. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That was an upset, really, in some ways, right? I mean,
I suppose, yeah. But I mean, well, if I can like John for Anarchy here, he hadn't played as much at the time.
Actually,
who's he playing? So just to check, who's he playing in?
Right now, it's Marth, Robin, and Link.
Okay.
Yeah, those are his characters. Yeah,
yeah. So, relating to our next topic of conversation, what was the tournament format that Hog was running it on?
Tournament format, standard double elimination, best of 3 throughout the entire bracket.
Right. What was the stock setup like?
There were 3 stocks.
Oh, okay. So it was a 3-stock tournament. And how did that feel? Did it feel like it was,
It felt perfectly fine.
Really? Oh, fair enough then.
Yeah, perfectly fine. 3 stocks, 9 minutes. It felt like as standard, really.
Oh, good. That's very good.
And it didn't. Yeah. Was there any? Did it run over?
No. Games didn't really seem to run over. I don't recall any. I don't recall there being any timeouts in singles or doubles. So,
damn.
Yeah.
That's actually really good then. If that is sort of, but how many people were entered though? That's the next question. How many people were entered?
I think it was a bracket of 32 people.
Wow, that's actually really good then.
Yeah, and it ran smoothly, but like both singles and doubles, like on time, everything like happened very like naturally. Like we all left the venue like quite early. Like the tournament finished at I think it was around like 8 p.m. or so. Started at around like 3 p.m. ish, something like that.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, it didn't like run late into like 10, 11 p.m. or such.
You weren't running on tournament standard time, which is like 2 hours late.
No,
Shout out to DCJ.
Not this time.
Yeah, that's good then. So that could potentially be a sort of potential tournament format then. If so, but I guess like as like numbers of people increases, then that could potentially be a problem in my eyes. Like if it's like
yeah.
But again, we'll have to see how it develops, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also in terms of that... Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Why was it 9 minutes on the clock? Because previously in Brawl, before Smash 4, we used to have 8 minutes free stocks. I was just wondering
we used
about
to have 8 minutes, and this isn't a really recent thing. Well, as far as Brawl's concerned, it's kind of a late Brawl metagame development thing. Like for the longest time, like as you remember, we ran like free stock 8 minutes, but then when the Western scene started paying a bit more attention to like the Japanese players, we noticed that they ran on free stocks in 10 minutes, and so to kind of like get like a happy medium sort of thing, people kind of like developed sort of 9 minute thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's quite interesting.
Sounds good.
Yeah, just to get like a middle ground between 8 and 10 minutes, really.
Okay, I got you. So also, just in terms of relating it to not only just this tournament that happened down south, but also to the rest of the UK, top players. I think we've all seen that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put a message out there. My boy Wills. I think he's again gonna be quite good in this game, despite Falcon being Falcon again.
Actually, if anything, Falcon. If anything, I would literally like go on record to say that this is the best Falcon has ever been in Smash.
Melee,
very good in
Melee,
wow.
Melee and 64. What are you on about?
Better than Melee and 64.
Right.
Falcon's neutral B is actually very good for reads now.
Falcon has a very good neutral game now. His damage boxes appear to be like a lot more consistent than they were in Brawl. The knockback on a lot of his specials and moves in general are really, really strong.
But
like his side B under rage can like kill people at like sub 100.
Okay, that's actually quite good.
And he has probably the best dash grab in the game. And he's got like some really strong frame traps and like good combos as well. Like he's legitly a solid character, or a solid looking character in this game.
And if we have a solidly looking character with a solid player such as Wills, I think then that Wills is again going to be. I don't know how good he was in Brawl, because again I came in 2012, so I came in quite late, and I was only a Melee player. And at the time, I knew about GP, I knew about X's. I don't know how good he was
He wasn't really a strong contender in Brawl, if I'm honest. From my perspective, he has a lot to prove. Like as far as Smash 4 is concerned, I don't know what his results are for Melee and PM specifically, but he wasn't really.
He's very strong. He's very strong in PM, and he's
he's a good player. Yeah,
he's actually really solid. When he came up to Newcastle for King of the North. Placed first in 3DS, placed second in PM, and third in Melee. So he did
good results. Well. Good results.
Yeah, and he only lost in PM to Ho for you as well. So, and Ho was doing some of his crazy quick attack cancel stuff in PM.
Oh, I did hear about that. Oh, that was
Yeah, I can't say that. It was insane.
Okay. Yeah,
but I think Will's is going to be a strong player. I think, of course, yourself, Ixis. Proven yourself to be a strong player already.
Yeah, the Brawl Old Guard are looking very good.
I think Anarchy will do very well. I really hope Anarchy does well. I love Anarchy.
Yeah, I think obviously like being a bit biased here, I think there's like a solid like 7 or 8 people who will like be incredibly powerful. I think the UK scene for Smash 4 is going to be really, really strong because a lot of these players are like well, they're not really messing around, like, so to speak. We're all like using very, very strong characters right now. Like, you've got myself, you've got Jay Miller. His characters are like a lot stronger. Luigi is like a pretty powerful character this time around. Yeah. He's also playing Lucario now. He's got a very strong Lucario. Obviously, you've got CRZ or Cloud Rain Zero playing Fox, who is like even stronger in this game than he was in Brawl.
What about who's Mitsu playing this time around? Is he still on
I'm
Mario?
not sure, you know. I haven't actually like seen Luigi Mitsu like play at all. I haven't heard much about him.
I hope we actually see him play Luigi.
Trainer. I'm not sure if he's playing Diddy. I'm guessing yes, because he is susceptible to using high tiers sometimes.
Yeah, it would make sense if he played Diddy. Like, he's like really strong again this time. So yeah,
I
obviously
respect that.
you've got like Casper and Anarchy, like the top Brawl players like of their days.
Yeah.
They should still be like really strong. Like Casper, like rocking Rosalina is going to be like really, really interesting.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't at one point Anarchy go like toe to toe with Leon and have a really close match with him at some point? Unless
I believe he did, yeah.
Like Leon was an insanely strong Brawl player, from my understanding of going back and watching old Brawl sets from like Anarchy playing Leon. I was like, this is actually a really close game.
Yeah, like Anarchy, Leon, and Mr. R were like considered the like strongest marks in Europe, like for sure.
Yeah, Leon is ridiculous. Leon is generally just a
very, very strong player.
Yeah, and I think Mr. R still has that element of strength to him. Having just won.
He's really strong as well.
Yeah, I love Ramen. Shout out to Ramen if he's listening. So those are our predictions. Do you think any, like... Okay, well, just quickly, because we talked about the UK scene and a bit of Europe scene. What about America? Because I think, you know, as sad as I am that Zero is going to be a top player again, he's a strong player, obviously.
He will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone that's putting in the time, they're gonna be up there. And some of the top players seem to have dropped down a bit. Like I feel like Ally isn't winning as much anymore as he used to in his Brawl days.
Yeah, a couple of the top players aren't really like
possibly.
Yeah, like expanding on that, that's a good point. Like, haven't seen too much of like Ally. Haven't seen him like win much of anything. Well, we say American, he's Canadian, but you know, whatever. Semantics, I guess. Haven't seen much of ADHD. Haven't seen much of Salem.
I've seen a bit of ADHD, Salem, and Ally actually. But the thing that irritated me the most was that Ally picked Mega Man, and I just thought, no, don't play Mega Man. Mega Man's kind of trash. Like there's.
Oh yeah.
Like, I always played Mega Man.
It's cool.
88, yeah, I know, but still.
But I am partial to Mega Man. It's like, my heart is there for Mega Man, and I'm actually trying myself.
We all wanted him in a game that wasn't SFXT, but we got him in Smash 4, and he's not even that good, and it's just sad, really.
Yeah,
I feel like from a very general perspective, like a lot of the strongest Brawl players in particular will transition over to Smash 4 like much more smoothly and should establish themselves as top Smash 4 players very quickly. But I'd like to see like obviously we've had a lot of talk of like a bunch of Melee players like hoping to pick up Smash 4 like seriously. I'd like to see a lot of like Melee players become top players as well, but just throwing this out there, I personally don't see too many of them following through with that.
I'm
like,
gonna follow through with it.
We've got characters like players like Mewtwo King, who's still a very strong Melee player. I can see him being like a top player for Smash 4. But I think a lot of like I don't really see people like Mango or Hungry Box or like even the UK's own Fuzziness like become a strong like contender for Smash 4.
That video was a lie.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be seeing. I think it's because it's like the melee players are very. I don't want to say they're elitist because I don't think Melee is elitist. I think
not elitist, but they're just going to play Melee, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't think it's much of an elitist thing. I just don't think like Smash 4 is as similar to Melee as they would like.
It's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
And that's a very English thing to say.
It seems like the Project M updates are very enticing, and Smash 4 isn't able to entice that same crowd as easily because Smash 4 is very different from every other Smash, including Project M. It's just literally the best word for it is different. It's just it's peculiar.
The way I summed it up to my friend who asked like he said to me, what game would you relate it to? I said to him, it's like a weird amalgamation of 64 and Brawl but with no Z cancelling. That's the way I summed it up. And I think, you know, I think to some extent I'm correct on that front, because there is some sort of element of it being like as fast as 64 with like the pivots and all that, but just I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. I see like elements of like all previous Smash games in there, to be honest. So I'm really like fascinated with how the metagame will develop over time.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, don't think of this game, but it is its own entity. That's basically it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a lot of like really good like brand new players as well. Like at the most recent like London tournament, like Severe Calamari actually like put on a pretty good show with his Sheik. Hopefully he like continues playing and becomes much better and becomes like a strong player and a top contender. It'll be very nice to see.
Yeah. Okay, so as a final sort of thing, let's talk about Amazon real quick, because I've, over the years, being a massive gamer, and for a very long time being someone who pre-ordered COD because I was a massive, you know, nerd, but I've like, Amazon is never reliable, because you'll either get your game early or you won't get your game at all. Like that's what I've sort of learned.
Amazon.
I've never really used Amazon like for pre-orders. If I'm like specifically pre-ordering something, well, back in the day I would like usually just like default to Shop2, but these days I usually order from the game collection, since they're really, really good with getting orders to you on time, or pre-order specifically.
As well.
Yeah,
but
good price, good delivery, the game collection. Agreed.
Yeah, very good price and good delivery. Yeah,
it's almost like are you two sponsored? Have you just not told us that you're just making like products like that? Like you're just plugging it and you're like,
yeah. I guess that sounded a bit like of an advertisement there.
like every time you mention it, you just like see extra numbers just pop up in your bank account. Like, oh god.
Yeah, I like to put a plug in, of course, for Nintendo by the fact that. Shout outs to Bowie again. Like, he got the game 2 or 3 days early by ordering through them. So just let that be a lesson to the future if you're ordering Nintendo product, I guess.
Yeah,
just order it from Nintendo.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest problems that Amazon had is the short supply of GameCube adapters. Nintendo, if by the off chance someone from Nintendo happens to listen to this, make more GameCube adapters. For the love of God, it will.
Yeah, they clearly didn't anticipate the demand for the GameCube controller adapters, because, like, yeah, they're basically sold out everywhere, going for ridiculous prices on eBay. It's absolute hell out there. Like, I know a lot of people who are still like wanting one, and they're seeing these prices, and it's just really off-putting. So hopefully it gets sorted out like as soon as possible. Hopefully they can get a new shipment out there.
I would hope so badly, because like I can't see myself playing on like the game on the massive tablet that you get, and I don't see myself playing on a Pro controller, because I've tried one of them and they're trash. I don't see myself modding out a GameCube controller so it'll plug into a Wiimote. Don't fancy any of that.
You could, buy one of those PDP like GameCube controllers.
I would rather take the rubber off of my controller and slit my wrists with the control stick. That's what I would rather do.
I mean, at first I thought those PDP controllers were a good idea, but then I saw that like they were wireless and plugged into the bottom of a Wii remote, and then I was just like, okay, no, it's done.
Yeah,
like it's actually just done.
Just stop. Oh god, it's really not great when you have a look at them and you're like, oh my god, they look so ugly. Like, how would you make a controller look A, ugly, and just B, just probably unresponsive? Like, how would you? It perplexes me. But that's Amazon. Don't trust Amazon. And yeah, and the final little thing that I guess we can just talk about.
Yeah, I just like to just put a quick thing in and say, just before we go, of course, the idea of an amiibo. What do we think about
amiibos are the next dog fights. Like, we're gonna have like.
Amiibos is 20XX, man.
I can see amiibos being like a really cool, really funny kind of like backdoor thing where people bet money on like pitting their amiibos against each other.
It's the next cockfight. It's going to be cockfights.
pretty much, yeah.
Just get Falcos and just.
I mean, I know, like, I think a couple of US tournaments have actually like had amiibos like participate in them. Actually, one of them making it to, I think it was Losers Finals.
I've seen that. I saw that.
It was called it was called Wave Shine, wasn't it? The amiibo,
something like that. Yeah, I mean, I can't verify some of like the things like some people have said, but apparently, like when amiibos get leveled up enough, they become pretty damn OP.
I want to
They
see.
get stat boost. That's why
they get a stat boost. That's the reason why it's got no viability,
they hit harder, they take less knockback. That's the kind of thing you're dealing with when you're a player. Take out the amiibo in the tournament. You know, it's a shame, but it's also something that will create hype for us whenever we do want to play with.
But it reminds me of actually. I don't know how many of you follow Melee competitive. I follow it like insanely, like to the point where I know a lot of like low tier players who nobody really knows. Because I'm hipster like that. But there was once an occasion. There's a guy in the Midwest of the US called Voodoo Jin, who's an amazing Luigi player, and he got famous because, well, not famous really, but like notorious for entering doubles with a level 9 CPU Luigi in Melee, and and you'd see the level 9 getting like misfires and killing people, and everyone would get like massive hype. I want to do that with an amiibo. Level up an amiibo and enter a tournament with that amiibo.
It's totally viable to have like doubles player and amiibo.
Just have a 4v4, like 3 other amiibos. That'd be brilliant.
Oh no, that'd be hype, yeah. But like,
that would be so.
If you want anything like competitive, then you could theoretically do like player and amiibo doubles. It'd be like mixed doubles.
Oh yeah, that'd
in
be
tennis. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's viable. The whole idea of like amiibo money matches, amiibo tournaments themselves might be quite hype because again, it's one of those things. It's a little bit of the sort of the Pokemon element, isn't it? So it's quite cool. I go for that.
I choose you. You shine. Yeah. It was super effective.
Pretty much. Yeah.
On the whole, I am very excited to see how Smash 4 develops as a competitive standpoint, because it's all these new mechanics that we've got. We've got all these new characters who have potential that we've not really seen before. You know, we've got some of the old guard from like, you know, Smash, from other Smashers coming back as like strong characters.
Yeah.
And I'm generally excited to see where it goes. And I think that's all we need to talk about. And I think we can just about wrap it up. So, Synth and Nixis, thank you guys so much for coming on. Absolute pleasure to have both of you. Real privilege.
Thanks for having us on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, also a quick thing, of course, would you guys like to, I know you use Twitter, Luke, if you have a Twitter as well, if you guys would like to,
plug it.
Yeah.
I use Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Lord Norgus.
Synth, do you have one that you want to plug?
Yeah, mine is just my name, Luke Stockley, Lukestokley. But despite that, I only use it for Smash, so I highly recommend anyone listening that wants to hear any interesting Smash 4 anecdotes, ideas, whatever, see some interesting media, do follow it, because I use Facebook for the personal stuff. I use Twitter for only Smash.
Okay, nice.
Alright, cool. Well, guys, thank you for coming on. Thank every one of you for listening to this very special Smash 4 episode of Off the Battlefield. And it was, absolute pleasure. Yeah. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys later.
Thanks very much,
See ya.
guys.